blocking my camera angle. No. I got one of those when that's the Hanes one, the underwear mask. Yeah. They've got Hanes. Yeah, I got that. I thought, oh, that's so cool. Be soft. I couldn't even breathe through it. It was like, really. Well, that's bad reports on that if you wear them all the time because they're not paid for microfiber plastic. These disposables are pretty worse. Let's see if I can do it this way. Yeah, I can't run.
morning, everyone. Uh, we appreciate everyone that's here, and we appreciate everyone wearing a mask. Um, we, the ones up here, while we are singing or speaking, we won't be having our mask on, but otherwise, we really need to have everyone to have their mask on, and we're doing the social distancing also. Could we start our service with a reading by Annie, please?
This reading is from The Science of Mind, and it's called We Are All on a Hero's Journey. Heroes take journeys, confront dragons, and discover the treasure of their true selves. And that was written by Carol Pearson. We make our own mistakes, suffer from our own foolishness, and we must also make our own return journey into righteousness by Ernest Holmes. We are all on a series of hero's journeys. Life itself is a single hero's journey, and within that overarching journey are many smaller ones. The idea of the hero's journey refers to a time of transition for the person, a series of steps that includes challenges that have the purpose of ultimately revealing some inner truth. Some examples include the new soldier who discovers his courage, the scholar her wisdom, the husband his capacity for intimacy, and the mother her capacity for love. Each of us is called to greater expression many times during a lifetime. If we refuse the call, we stagnate. If we answer the call, we go on an adventure. The ultimate goal is self discovery, finding some capacity we had not expressed before. The task then is to bring this discovery into our own lives, to return newly empowered and enabled in a positive way. When we recognize the dynamic of the hero's journey, we learn to face up to what life brings to us. We find our courage, and like in Oz, our wisdom and love. Our lives are enriched, and the world around us is better for our new discoveries. And here's the affirmation. Please repeat after me. I am a hero.
I am a hero.
I face life with courage
I face life with courage
and a great expectation of good.
and a great expectation of good.
I follow my own path,
I follow my own path,
and I am open
and I am open
to the full range of self discovery.
to the full range of self-discovery.
Annie, and my name's Margie. And let's start the rest of our service with a brief meditation. I will then we'll start with this, and when you hear it again, we will finish. Our songs are going to be given to us by Jazz Marlin, and would like to have one right now if you wouldn't mind.
Okay. Yay. I'm free. For a moment. Sweet come to me. Yeah, I heard a few people online clapping back. So.
Oh, great. That's fantastic. It was very good. It was worth clapping. We'd like to have everyone here and let you know that we are going to have our 50th or our Jubilee celebration. The date is at the end of September, but from what I understand, we're going to start celebrating the end of this month and go past September. So the church has been in this particular spot, I think, about 12 years. We don't have what would be called a pastor or someone who speaks every week, but we get to have a large variety of excellent speakers. We found out this morning that Julia was here a year ago in August, and Jazz played the music when she was here, and I was facilitating. So we take turns. I don't know how that happened, but evidently we're going to set this up as an annual event. So, but don't write that down on your calendar. We're just thankful that we do get to have so many people that have given us so much information, and we're in this beautiful area that we get to share with everyone and look out at the ocean and feel the breezes. We're so thankful to have. The end of August last year, weren't able to meet in person very long after that, and now we've just started. So what we did as a group, we closed things down, and now we're opening things up. So we know what we're doing. If you wouldn't mind, Jess, we would like to have another song.
Really?
Please.
Oh my God. Okay. This has that James Bond kind of feel.
Thank you very much. We now have time for miracles and ordinaries. So it doesn't have to be a miracle necessarily. It can be something ordinary that felt special or like a miracle to you. And if you would like to share, we're going to use this microphone. We just need you to leave your mask on as you talk. So we need some sharing.
May I?
Yes, yes.
It's time for miracles and ordinaries. Some far-fetched, some extraordinary. It's all a glorious gift of great divine. Each day I strive to do my best. God steps in and does the rest. That's why I'm here. It's time for miracles and ordinaries. Some mundane, some extraordinary. It's all a glorious gift of great divine. Each day I strive to do my best. God steps in and does the rest. That's why I'm still here, still alive. Someone's got to step up now.
Yes, definitely.
Did I remember it? Yeah. Well, come on, you guys. Somebody.
I've been getting pictures the last few days from my two sons who have gone back to spend time with their dad. And I don't know if there's anybody else that raised 3 children by themselves, but doing that's kind of difficult. and I always felt that the kids needed to be with their dad and to spend time with him. And there were difficulties during that situation. There were girlfriends and next wife and interactions that I didn't feel were healthy, but I'm now seeing my sons be able to be with their father. He's not in good health, and he was a Vietnam veteran, a Marine in the infantry. So, his life has been kind of traumatic. But it's a miracle to me that my sons are there with him and get to spend time with him when I don't think there will be a lot of time left. But it makes me proud that we did that this was not easy. And I've always felt when I had my own physical therapy clinic in a small town, and I would have people come in that had excruciating pain or severe injuries, and I would watch some of them be determined to continue to work, and I would tell people, this person needs a gold medal. I know the Olympics are coming up. I love the Olympics. But there are so many amazing people. I was blessed to be given the chance to spend time with people who didn't give up. And so I think I'm going to give credit to those people that I saw what they could do. And it made me, so when I was going through difficult times, this is an ordinary person. This is not somebody who's going to be written up in the newspaper or on TV, but they are taking care of their family and they're doing the best that they could do and just not giving up. So thank you. We still have time.
There you go.
That's a very good idea. I wanted to be able to introduce her the best I can. Like I said, she was here a year ago, and I do remember a little bit of what we had gone over, but what she wants people to know is that she has had lives in many different worlds, and she was a, thank you, master rapid eye technician, and she was explaining to me that involved doing work with the neurological inputs of the eyes and the brain, and it's a matter of helping to heal some of the problems that we have. She's also been a clinical hypnotherapist and spiritual counselor. Last year she was doing this, but I don't think it was quite as committed because you said you weren't it wasn't maybe full time, but it is more so now that you're working with Callie O'Neill, who is putting up a 300-foot stained glass mural. I'll let Julia talk more about it, down at the airport. So I remembered that from a year ago, and she's really working quite a bit on that now. She also is doing web work. We had great help from Pomai and now from Julia on our website. So we appreciate that. She's an administrative assistant, and she's also become a farmhand. Her favorite longtime quote by Irene Smith is, "We cannot heal another human being. We can only heal ourselves until our presence is healing." So we'd like to listen to Julie.
I didn't know it was coming so quick, so here I am. When I was asked to give a talk this time, I don't know, I come at this with some trepidation because some amazing things have happened to me in the last, since February, and a long time before, of course, but I've been asked to write a new book. And the new book is called Signs and Wonders. So I wrote the introduction and the first chapter, and so I'm going to share some of that with you and see what you think. And today, on my way over here, I got this great idea. We all have signs and wonders, and if you'd be willing to share them with me, I'll put them in the book. So, writing the introduction, I remember one of the most profound moments of my entire life. Damn tears. I was at Antioch University studying psychology, and I was reading about attachment disorder. And, I thought, God, given my background and my childhood, there's really no choice but that I have attachment disorder. And maybe that's why I don't become attached to any kind of noun. I love my children and my grandchildren when I'm with them, but I don't miss them. Is that a bad thing? They're coming and I'm really excited, but I'll be glad when they go home, right? I just don't get all that attached to things because, and so I was thinking, okay, so is that attachment disorder or is that just more Buddha-like and I'm doing the detachment thing? And does it matter? And is it a pathology or is it just, what? So I asked this professor and he said, well, let me think about that and I'll get back to you on it. So at the end of the semester, he came, I asked him, I said, so what do you think? And he goes, well, he said, I've talked to you, I've read your writing, we've had classes together, and the best I can tell is the only thing wrong with you is you think there's something wrong with you. You don't know who you are. And in that moment, it was like a laser struck my heart. And I knew that was true. And I knew that it was not only true for me, but it was true for everybody. And that didn't make it any less true for me. It was so huge. And it has guided my life since that time. And so it's in that vein that I dare to share what's been happening for me for the last few whiles. So on February 21st, I was out looking for a new place to live because I'd been living with this family for 5 years as a live-in grandma for 5 years. And she had become a mean girl. She turned 12, and you know what happens when they turn 12. And her dad kind of followed suit. And so they were kind of being kind of mean to me and sort of pretending like I was whatever. I was like, okay, I need a new place to live. So I went to find a new place to live. And while I was there, I got this text that explained why they had become mean girls. They had decided that I was doing something that was unacceptable. And who am I to say I wasn't? But I didn't have those intentions when I did it. If I don't know, but I said, okay, that's it, I'm out. And so within 5 minutes, I called Barry Rose. who has a 5-acre farm in Pauwilo. I said, "Can I come stay in your barn for a while? I need a place to stay." She goes, "Sure, come on over." So on the next day, I stayed with Alvita that night. The next day, I moved in to the barn, the upstairs loft of the barn in Pauwilo. And I really immediately started doing everything I could to justify my being there because I didn't know where else I was going to be going in the next while. And then some time passed, and I was house sitting again for the same family. And while I was there, I was feeling really like, geez, I don't know what's happening. I got kind of freaked out about the whole thing. Oh, and I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you. I pulled a rune. Runes are my friend. I love runes. How many know runes? I love the runes. And so I pulled a rune, and the first rune I pulled was number 1. It was Manaz, which is the self. It says it's all about you now. This is about you claiming your divinity, you stepping into yourself meeting yourself. Get on with it. I'm like, okay, I can do that. And it said, live the ordinary life in a non-ordinary way. Well, it's not ordinary for me to get up at 6 o'clock and feed the ducks and water all day long and weed all night. It's a big difference for me, but it's ordinary. My feet are always dirty. So then I was house sitting for this family while they went on vacation because they didn't want me all the time, but they needed me when they needed me. So I'm back house sitting, and I'm supposed to be loading all my things and getting them out of the house, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't make myself load stuff up. And I started feeling really doubtful about, okay, what am I doing and what's going next and how am I going to do this, et cetera, et cetera. So I called all my friends. I got 3 different opinions, and they're all brought it back to I am. I am the sunshine. I am the moonlight. So as soon as that happened, I pulled another rune, and it was Journey, number 20, the journey. And the journeys, the message is the journey of your lifetime. This is about getting there and coming to the end of your journey. And it's about paying attention to being at the end of your journey. And there were other things, and I wrote them down, but it's not important. It was number 20. So I forgot to tell you that up to this time, I've been doing this shape-shifting project where I'm trying to release some excess baggage. And I had stopped at 222. For 6 months, I was at 222. No matter what I did, 222. I went down from 260, but still 222 is not enough. So I had written in my journal that I was feeling stuck. I was feeling stuck with these 2 mean girls. I was feeling stuck because we were doing taxes with Callie, and I was feeling stuck at 222. So the next day, what happens? Out the door, I'm unstuck. And I moved into the barn, and within 3 days, I was down to 219, and now it's all the way down to 207. So it started up again. I started on the journey. I'm moving. So I pulled the journey rune. So while I'm sitting in my bed, the rune bag falls off the bed. And I go to pick it up, and there are 2 runes sitting side by side, face up, in order, number 20, the journey, and the next one, number 21. And the next one was the gateway. And it was like, you've come to the end of your journey. You're standing on the top of the hill. You're looking at the gate. You look back. You see what's happened. You let it all go. And then you wait. Don't go through the gate. You just wait. I'm like, okay, I can wait. So I wrote all these runes down. I journaled them. I recorded them on my phone so I could listen to them over and over. And I just let these things play through my system for the next few days. And Johanna called me. Johanna lives on the property as well. There's 4 of us elders on the property now. Johanna, me. And Johanna says, I have a friend who's moving here, and she's sending over a 16-foot trailer, a big cargo trailer, and it has a V nose. And we could turn that into a tiny house for you. And I'm like, okay. Tiny house has been my dream for a long time. So I was all excited about that. And then I got back to the farm, and Barry says, yeah, and we can put your tiny house right here on this spot on the property, which is honestly the best spot. It's got breezes all the time. It's underneath 2 trees. It's overlooking this mountain and this meadow and the ocean. It's like, oh my God. So I got invited into the Johanna. So I pulled a rune and it was breakthrough. It was the next one. So 20, 21, and 22, breakthrough. And it was like, welcome home. You finished your journey. This rune is so important that if you pull the blank rune next, you're going home to home. So I pulled the next rune, but it wasn't the blank one. So, but it was some good ones. I pulled 3 just to make sure it was really good ones, but it wasn't the blank one. And it said, this rune is so momentous. Pulling this rune is that if you miss it, it can change your life forever. And I'm, man, I don't want to miss anything. So I called Anna Jones and set an appointment for a reading. It's like, okay, I got to know what am I missing here? I don't want to miss anything. So 2 weeks later, I talked to Anna, and on that morning, in preparation for the reading, I pulled another rune. It was breakthrough again. So this angel comes through. I don't know if you've ever had a reading from Anna, but she doesn't know who's going to come through. Whoever does. And I don't do readings these days. I haven't done readings with Anna for quite a while, although I've done many in the past, because I don't really have any questions anymore. It's like the answer is always the same, right? So I didn't have any questions, but this time I thought I better get that answer. So this angel comes on and he says, the reason you chose the breakthrough rune is that you have of your journey, all of your journeys, all of your lifetimes. And you have reached the end of your karma. And now it's time for you to move into your dharma. And he explained that the whole idea about dharma and karma is like these curricula that we set up for ourselves throughout our many lifetimes and all the roles and the plays that we play with each other. And we come to a time when we've done all that, we're done with that. And then we can use all that we've learned to do our soul purpose, move into our soul purpose. And that my soul purpose is to be a servant of the divine because I choose that. And that's the only way it can be a divine calling, is if it's a choice, because otherwise it'd be slavery. So we talked a lot about that. And there were 3 little tiny things that had to be finished before I'm completely finished. And one of them was to heal a past life where I was a slave. And it has 3rd chakra stuff. And I have to write a book. So this is why I'm writing a book. So, and then I found out that somebody really close to me was the master in one of those lives. And that's why I've had so much resistance to this particular person. And now I can heal that. And I don't have to have so much resistance because she does have a lot of good things to give me. And so I said, well, how do I do that? And I pull breakthrough. So anyway, that was really exciting. So I get home when I'm writing in my journal. I do my right hand, left hand writing, and I'm asking Archangel, oh, it turns out that the angel who finally came through and explained who he was and why he was there is Archangel Raziel, who I'd never heard of before, but he is the Archangel of mystery, of spiritual mystery. And he said, usually I don't identify myself, stay in the background and be more subtle and let you think that it just happened accidentally. It's like an ordinary rather than a miracle, but here I am, and I've been with you for a long time, and I'll continue to be with you as you do this project. And so when I get home, I'm asking, okay, so what's next? So I got the name of the book. It came through, and I thought, okay, this is what I want to do. And so I pulled a rune to see what it was about, and it was partnership. I'm like, oh no, that can't possibly be. No. And so so it comes out that it's partnership with the divine. Thank you very much. And it's partnership with Archangel Raziel. And he and I are going to write the book together. And I'm like, that can't be. That's just too. So I walk out the front door and 2 snowy egrets fly across the door. So I guess that's what's going to happen. And it's really exciting. So I thought, I don't know how much time I have. Okay, so I thought I would just share some of the signs and wonders that I've become more and more aware of as this has unfolded and long since before. So the first thing I remember, this is like before 2005, because that's when I came here. So between 2000, somewhere back in that time, one morning I was waking up, and I was in that state before you're awake, when you know you're not, you're cognizant but not awake. And I was listening to this sound in my right ear, and I'd never heard that sound before. And you know how when you walk underneath power lines, you can hear the sound of the power lines? It was like that, only it was much finer, finer sound. And so I was listening to it and listening to it, and then I opened my eyes and it stopped. I'm like, what was that? And so not too long after that, I was reading, I'm pretty sure it was the Five Tibetans. And in the back of it, they talk about the nod. And the nod is the sound of, as far as I can tell, it's the sound of our own frequency. And you can hear it. Everybody can hear it. Some people gripe about it and call it tinnitus, but I don't think that's what it is. And it isn't at all invasive though. So maybe tinnitus is something different. I don't know because I don't have that. But um, when you're quiet in your bed, for instance, you have to go under the cokies and under the crickets, and under that you'll find it. And supposedly it's hard to find, but I find it pretty easy, and I think most of us can too. And I think that's the most important thing that I'm here to talk about today, according to what the archangel says, and in several readings that I've had since, is that not anything special or different or big time anything. I'm just one of you. We're all the same, and anybody can have these signs and wonders, and we need to wake up to them. Do you remember the last version, the last scene in the latest Star Wars movie? Anybody see the latest Star Wars movie? The last one. It's like do or die. We're gonna lose or we're gonna win, and the only way we're gonna win is if everybody shows up. And so in the sky, they have countless number of teeny tiny dots that are all little tiny spaceships that came from every place in the known galaxy or whatever, and they won. They won over the whatever that I forgot the name of it. But anyway, they did it. They all rose up and they claimed their divinity. They claimed their kuleana. They claimed responsibility for being there and making a difference and showing up. And that's really where we're at right now. We all got to wake up and show up, and we're already there. We just have to know it. I'm probably talking to the choir. You probably already know this. So anyway, there was the nod. Around that same time, I watched What the Bleep. They were showing the picture of the charge in the two cells and kind of like a storm. So I'm laying in my bed taking a nap. I took a lot of naps in those days, and I was having this argument with somebody in my brain, and I was going on and on and on, and it got pretty ridiculous. And finally, I kind of stepped back and I looked at myself and I laughed out loud. And when I laughed, you know how when you're going down the road and somebody reaches over and turns off the radio and you didn't even know it was on, but what a relief. Like that. I had heard the sound in my brain that was going really loud. And as soon as I laughed, it stopped. So I heard that electrical thing that's going on between the cells when I was arguing, and laughter stopped it. Laughter is one of the highest energies that we can do. So you need to laugh a lot. Another time around that same time, I was driving to, so every day I had classes at Antioch, starting at 9 a.m. and ending at 9 p.m. I had 4 boys, and I was going to school full time, and I'm driving my old dead blue Volvo, and his name was Jasper. I'm driving Jasper, and I hear this thought that says, your left rear tire is going to come off. But there was no noise, there was no wiggle, there was nothing, just your left rear tire is going to come off. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And I drive, and I keep driving, and I keep hearing this thought. And finally, one day I said, okay, I promise, I'll take care of it again before I drive again. So 2 weeks later, I go in to get my oil changed, and I said, will you please rotate the tires? And the guy comes out and he goes, it's a damn good thing I rotated those tires. every lug nut on the left rear tire was stripped. And I had a vision of these angels going, "Can you get the tire fixed? I'm tired of holding this thing." So I learned from that to pay attention to those thoughts. That, if you stop listening, they're going to let go of the tire. At some point, they're going to let go. So that was that. Another time, this is after I moved to the island, and I had a reading with Anna Jones. And I had been looking for a picture of a rising flock of graceful snow white birds to illustrate the sonnet that I was putting on my website that I'd written. And I looked everywhere for this picture, and I couldn't find it. So as I'm driving from Waimea to Honoka'a, this flock of 150 birds rises up off the field. I'm like, "Oh man, where's my camera? There's my rising flock of graceful snow white birds." So I get there, and it turns out that the being who comes through is White Feather. Turns out White Feather and I are long ago buddies, and he's been my guide for many. In fact, he's my soulmate. And he said, "Did you like the present that I gave you?" And so I said, "Yeah, I really did." So on the way home, Anna said, "You should ask for." I can't remember what the reading was that time, but she said, "You should ask for 3 white-winged symbols on your way home to make sure that what we said here today is true." So as I'm driving home, I get 2 white butterflies. Have you ever seen a white butterfly on the highway? They're in your garden. They're not on the highway. These were went across my car, and then 1 white bird went across. So I got my 3 winged. So the next morning, I'm doing shalagi in the front yard, and I was doing 4 rounds. And when I do shalagi, it's a dance of the 7 directions. I think I've shared that with you before. And on this one, I said, "I want to know that every thought, word, and deed of mine is guided by spirit. I want to know that I'm in the light and I'm going the right direction. I'm just facing the right direction." So on the 3rd round, so I do physical. The first round is physical from all the directions, and then emotional, and then mental. And I'm facing the north on the 3rd round where I want to know. It's the mental. And I look up, and as right wing catches the wind, I look up, and in the sky, this little wisp of a cloud that had been there when I started had turned itself into this huge, amazing, fully formed white dove with its arms spread wide, facing the north, which is about spirit, and the tail feathers were lined in gold. So that happened. So as I think now, I realize that I've had lots and lots of signs and wonders. And I'm here as a way shower and as a mirror for all of you to find your signs and wonders and to get that you are that. And we are that. We're all one. And I've found that any spiritual truth is a dichotomy. Both sides of the same truth are true. So, for instance, we're all one, and we're all absolutely individual, unique, wonderful. Things are both true. That's a spiritual truth. Spiritual truths are more and more available to us. One last thing I'll share is that for the last, I want to say 2 years, maybe 3, I've chanted Sanskrit chanting, and it's become a part of me that I'm and I learn what chants do what things, and I use them for prayers. And I have this vision of myself riding an elephant, Ganesh, and I have one on either side, so I have 3 elephants, and whoever I'm praying for is up on the elephant with me, and I have my arms wrapped around the one that needs it the most. So anyway, I've been doing the chanting for a lot, and one day I was chanting and I closed my eyes. In fact, I had to cover my eyes. Closing doesn't do it, but cover my eyes where it's completely black. There's this brilliant blue light behind my eyelids, and if I open my eyes, it's still there as long as there's darkness. And it's just undeniable. There's no question that that's what it is. It's brilliant blue. It's like, I can't describe the blue. It's bluer than the darkest part of the ocean. It's brilliant. And in the center of it, there's this little tiny indention that's like a little white pearl, a little blue pearl. It's lighter than the rest, so it's a little blue pearl. So I had heard about the blue pearl when I, started when I did some Siddha yoga chanting, and so I went and looked it up. You should go look it up. It's pretty cool, and it's available to all of us. So I encourage you to go find the blue pearl, find the blue light. It comes only when it wants to, but for me, it's been coming more and more frequently. And I was getting kind of stubborn about it and not writing in my journal with left hand unless I had the blue pearl in place. But they told me I had to stop wasting so much time and get on with writing. So anyway, I can't think of anything else to share. So there you have it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. We do have a little more time. If you remember other things that you do want to share with us, but later we're going to be doing our announcements, so we'll add those in. We would like to ask everyone to help us continue to have our meetings and our facility. So we're not passing an offering bowl anymore because of the pandemic, but we have it up here. So if a person would like to come and contribute, we would like to have a little more music also as that's going on. So we'll go ahead with our offertory. Oh, yes, that's fine. No, that's no problem. Just go right ahead. That's fantastic. We're going.
I can't. Yeah.
So you all know the tune. But I wrote
thing was I wish I would have practiced. But anyway, we got the pages turned and the song sung and the offering done. So together. If you would like to do some announcements about some of your work.
I can tell you that the mural is completely painted. The background with 100-year mineral paint is completely painted, leaving silhouettes on the concrete of where the kahuna are going to go. And we do still have to seal it. We have to put a seal on the mineral paint, and that will happen next week. And two of the kahuna are almost finished in glass. So Uncle Earl Regular is going up. Yesterday or this weekend, we got 6,000 hits on Instagram of Callie putting her face into the film. You got to see it. It's amazing. Uncle Earl Regular, he works at Four Seasons. He's their cultural advisor there. And then Callie Ching is number one, and he's all done. Well, the glass is pretty much done for him. So we're ready to put up the first two now in the next. We had 21 kahuna going on the island on the wall. The eighth wall has begun construction. We haven't finished the eighth wall yet, so they're building that now, and then we'll finish that one. And one way of participating is across the entire mural, there is what we call the thin blue line. It represents the water and also the biosphere that surrounds the planet. And we're constructing that of blue black glass. Taking down glass bottles with 3x5 glass, and there's going to be 1,001 across the wall. And on there will be etched whatever you want. We're hoping to have the water source of every person on the planet going across the wall, and every place on the planet, and your names, and your grandchildren's, or prayers to the planet, or whatever. Because the whole mural is about Malama Aina and Aloha Aina. Taking care of the land and all the things like that. So if you want to participate, it's all at CallieO'Neill.com under Public Works, and you can find ways of participating and following the progress, because it's pretty fun to watch. Last week we were able to choose all the clothing, the glass that becomes the clothing of Uncle Earl Regular. He has this gorgeous green shirt with ulu leaves and pants, and he wears a lei, and his ukulele, the glass of the ukulele is amazing. So, and the water is coming out of the hands of Keala Ching is this beautiful, shimmery, iridescent glass, white, and clear glass.
Yes, do you need?
We need bottles, and we need the light and dark blue. The sake bottles, but the round ocean bottles, unfortunately, are not. They're painted or whatever. They're not they're not colored glass. So, but the sake bottles work. The square. You guys have a party and just have a whole bunch of vodka and bring us the bottle. Oh, good idea. I will do that. I'll ask that person to do that.
So it was suggested we'll be having this on our newsletter. So I don't know, since we're recording and we had somebody from that did mention about putting it on the newsletter. So we will do that. I think that's a great idea. So and I think is it open yet to people being able to observe it in person, or do we need to see it online?
The only way you can see it is if you're going somewhere. Because if you come out of TFA and you go one way or the other to your gate, it's the wall against the baggage claim, the baggage processing wall.
Okay, so
You have to be there. And we have some pretty cool time-lapse photography of work starting in January. And you can see us working. We get 12 minutes to do 12 months of the work. Wow. So it's really fun.
that sounds okay. That sounds great. Thank you so much. We want to let everybody know that we will have more services, and like I mentioned, we will be recognizing the 50 years that we have been in existence. And so next Sunday on the 18th, we have Reverend Beverly Strutt, who's going to be discussing Chaos is the Divine Design, and music will be by Devorah Kama. And we do have a workshop at time from 1:30 to 3 that people will be able to sign up. I guess that's with her, Beverly, is going to be doing the workshop. Um, we're going to have a special speaker who is going to be Virginia Halliday, and she is a founding member. So that gives me goosebumps that she'll be letting us know what happened 50 years ago, origin of our center. And there'll be music by Carol Connor. We do have Monday classes of gentle yoga from 5 to 6:30. Maria Mann will be continuing to present those. It is a $15 to $20 drop-in fee. Every second Sunday of the month, we have a pre-service. I think it'll continue as the second Sunday, where the healing bowls. Okay, we did it this Sunday. We on the second. Okay. Okay. August 1st will be the healing service of the meditation crystal bowls. And that is from 9 to 9:30. If you like to attend, we'd appreciate getting here a little before 9 so that there won't be an interruption while the program is going on. The last Sunday of the month, we have produce to give away. So we do have a few containers that you can take with you. And if you have extra produce from where you're on the farm or your acreage or your little garden box, you can bring that to share. I already went over the fact that Sunday the 18th, we do have the special event of the workshop. And what it's going to be named is Fear to Faith, a healing journey through forgiveness and release. And it will be done on a love offering. We do need volunteers. And speaking of people who are helping out, Jeff has been here doing the sound, and we thank him so much. And we now have someone else. I'm sorry, let me get your name. Barry. Barry is taking over, so at least we are transmitting, we are projecting from the talks, and we're getting it recorded. So the this service will be on YouTube after tomorrow at 12. If you want to see the service again, or someone who wasn't able to be here. If you would like to receive our weekly newsletter, you can sign up at www.newthoughtcenterofhawaii.com. You also can find us at NTCH Info on Facebook and Dolphin Partners. Yes, that's good.
Last week I put on the website a page for the 50th anniversary planning,
Yes.
and you can go on there and submit your ideas and see all the ones that were submitted at the meeting. So I'll have those coming to me, so if you submit them, I'll add them to the list.
So we are in the process of planning these events, and so if what we're wanting you to do, like she mentions, give us as many ideas as you can, and then we'll all work together to have this wonderful celebration going on, probably till the end of the year. Well, thank you all for attending, and we're going to stand and in a circle, not hold hands like we used to, and sing our closing song.
Are we all ready? Okay. E Hawaii, go, e hanau, holy no, I am
I should send you a copy of that song so that you can.
Play with it, get it memorized. Yeah, it seems like a ritual we're doing now. Yeah,